The credibility of journalism depends on our integrity, accuracy, and fairness. And falsehood flourishes, democracy suffers.
So we are sure, say na unim say ene a GJA Awards, Ghana Journalist Association Awards. Say unim so Makachero. Now John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, echo come speech be now after the speech, no my Shatta Wale abba reacted to a John Dramani Mahama the speech. Vibes 24 trends. At the end of this particular video, Obetin Sema John Dramani Mahama any the reaction artist Shatta Wale and so Abba Meki. So when you subscribe here, the open so click or notification bell on someone subscribe to your YouTube channel and send your bear you drop it update also on sa able to me akabi. So John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, any a year or 2 or say to the king of the Ashanti, Eko Piemu GJA Awards no. I say now during the awards, no, and I say John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, Eko yes or Kwakoma a speech. Now John Dramani Mahama Ekasano and same be your kind yeah I say now so Emma Charles Niyama Mensa Junior Shatta Wale Babe react and he say according to John Dramani Mahama no. Also 2016-2017. Now you journalist omo krom hanum say akese omutimi kasa akukuduro so akese without fear and panic. Now so no nansan wo hu say journalism ni nyina no. Wo hu say conform. Wo hu say nkrofo akukuduro na kese omo de kasa efo man ne ho. Eka niam abone ekoso wo man ni mu se ne be ya president ene any ministers ombe hu no matu hu anamo no. Ase conform. Now ono John Dramani Mahama according to ono no under his government, there is no way Obama Obia I intimidate a journalist, any bloggers, Omokasa, John Dramani Mahama, so Makwan. Also, journalist 2016-2017, Sani Namokasa Wakudro Sono, Monkasa, name no, and I say, Asemo Kan Wahana to say, Shatta Wale react, according to John Dramani Mahama, or say, Sani Amokasa Wakudro Sono, make sure say, Mon say Obia reputation. Monfa no kre enya adwuma freedom of speech en kire se mo beka ne ma bone afọ obi ho na mo asɛe obi din sanse ma John Dramani Mahama ebeka ye no ye beko akotie sa particular eye part no na after so this answer no ebetu dwa no na kyese ye hu se Charles ni ama Mensa Junior Shatta Wale on Facebook Ababa reacted to a answer John Dramani Mahama eka ye no na Shatta ansema okan ye enie before ebekotie John Dramani Mahama ansema okan ye no so on the poster John Dramani Mahama say freedom of speech does not mean freedom of ruined reputation and Shatta Wale ebabe posti here on Facebook and ochro ye and say if I no stand on my feet for this country like them ruin my own Mr. President, I'm happy with how you are moving things slow but sure in your time of governance. I salute you, say, smiling mafia.
Producers, reporters, editors, videographers, anchors, bloggers, and designers, this sacred duty that they gave them is being carried out with increasing excellence and renewed relevance each year. The media have bridged the gap between the governed and the governors, fostered civic awareness, and held the mighty and powerful to account. However, I must also recognize areas of concern. The decline in our press freedom rankings is a worrying concern to all of us. The increasing threats against journalists and the rising culture of misinformation. Ghana's record on the Press Freedom Index has deteriorated. In 2016 and 2017, we stood tall as a beacon of media independence in Africa. Our journalists worked without fear. The public debate thrived. In recent years, I must say that promise has faded. The 2025 Press Freedom Index, reflecting the conditions of the press in 2024, recorded another unfortunate decline, signaling that our recovery remains fragile. Ghana therefore faces a defining choice: to accept this gradual slide or to consciously reclaim our place as Africa's torchbearer of media freedom. My administration has chosen the latter. We're dedicated to restoring the spirit of pre-2017, when freedom of expression, institutional respect, and journalistic safety characterized the Ghanaian democratic experience. I recall that during your visit to the presidency, the GJA urged me to expedite investigations into acts of violence that took place during the 2020 and 2024 elections, causing death and harm to some of our compatriots, including journalists. I'm pleased to report that the investigations are complete. A total of 21 individuals have been identified, 4 have been arrested and released on bail, 5 remain on remand, and warrants have been issued for the remaining suspects. The Attorney General is currently reviewing the report to determine the appropriate legal action and appropriate compensations for victims or their families. Justice will be pursued under the law. The victims deserve closure, and the perpetrators will face the consequences of their actions. I've also directed the minister responsible for government communications and the minister responsible for national security to create a permanent forum for constructive engagement between the security services and the media to foster mutual respect and prevent such future incidents. Let me be unequivocal. Under my leadership, this government will neither sanction nor tolerate any form of intimidation, interference, or attacks on journalists. But my colleagues of the GJA, freedom must be balanced with responsibility. The credibility of journalism depends on our integrity, accuracy, and fairness. Too often, the race to break the story first results in unverified publications and damage to reputations of persons. We need to strengthen both internal and cross-media systems for verifying stories and making corrections. Just as colleagues accept peer review, we as journalists should also adopt peer accountability. If one platform misreports, others have a duty to correct. The integrity of the media must be safeguarded from both external interference and internal decay. When falsehood flourishes, democracy suffers. When sensationalism displaces substance, citizens lose trust. Friends of the media, Your Royal Majesty, the need for responsible regulation is real. The same digital tools that democratize information now also enable hate, defamation, impersonation, and cyberbullying. Therefore, the Cybersecurity Amendment Bill 2025 and the Misinformation and Disinformation Bill currently before Parliament are not meant to restrict expression, but to safeguard citizens and uphold truth in the digital realm. I recognize that the GJA and civil society have raised some legitimate concerns. Let me assure you that these concerns will be addressed transparently and constructively. Our aim is to extend the ethical standards of traditional journalism into the digital space without infringing on constitutional freedoms. Freedom of expression does not include freedom to ruin reputations.
This particular video now tie nsema John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, editu dwa na chese o chiremu o se senya modi akukuduro ekasa no na John Dramani Mahama pointed out ese enema time am ye mistake nyina ne say everybody want to be the first to break the news eno na chese ma eye mistakes eba. Now I say nipa ba ko anko bedi kan breaking news no se mo amu be breaking na chide no enka mo hwe na nipa na ye mistake a enka you people will be the person as enka mo betima correct sa mistake na nipa na odi kan no eye no eno ne nsema che se John Dramani Mahama editu dwa eno san be chide mu se mo dia kokuduro kasa mo make sure se mo say obia a reputation. And when some like I said, John Dramani Mahama the two guy and a Charles ni ama Mensa Junior Shatta Wale and so eba bonti and also no ebe chidi mu se senka wan jina ne nan so a nka Ghana for say the reputation. Wait, and in some trendy on Facebook Charles ni ama Mensa Junior Shatta Wale and John Dramani Mahama on site at the same asem ketua vibes 24 trends wey ene nsem e kofa ya de brɛ o unya subscribe ya bomodin send de bi ye no no be subscribe send ye be ya de update bi aba wo so nsa ebetumi aka bi